Just Eff It. Hi, I'm Romy, an identity coach helping others who struggle with their sexual identity and families of queer youth find their path of understanding and acceptance.
And I'm Carla, a mom empowerment coach empowering moms to own their new identities and motherhood journeys.
And together we are the EFFing Madres. We are here to invite you guys into stories of some inspiring madres
who have changed their lives through an Eff It moment. So here we go. Just Eff It.
All right, guys, good morning. Happy Monday. We are back. We are back from our vacation, my vacation in California. Got to spend some time with Carla. Got to see our daughters spend time together. That's like a huge for us.
Yeah. That was really cute.
It was beyond cute. They were really cute together.
Yeah, they were really cute together. Frankie was so sweet with her, and they just got along so well. It was so nice.
Yeah, Frankie loved her. I said she really enjoyed being like big sister, big cousin style, you know? She doesn't get to be that. So she adored her. She adored playing with her. And your daughter was the hit of the party, just walking up to everyone, talking to everyone, very confident.
Yes.
Not holding back.
No.
Said everything she felt and more.
Yep. And she wanted to take every single thing from
She tried to klepto my mother's whole house.
Yeah.
But the good thing was my daughter was willing to give her everything she wanted. And your daughter was making sure you knew these were coming home with us.
Yeah. Frankie gave this to me. Frankie gave it.
Yeah, and Frankie did. Frankie gave her everything. I think she gave her like 30 straws or something and her toys. It was really fun. And I'm excited to do more of that and like be able to see you and I like with our girls together because it's always on such a professional level, right?
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Thank you for being there. So we're two best friends, two mamas, two Latinas, two friends that look alike, two girl moms. We said Eff it. We keep saying Eff it. Eff it is a movement of moving forward in a direction that is scary, challenging, but positive, whether it is successful or not. It's an emotion, right, that we listen to. It's a feeling. It's a gut feeling that we listen to and we fucking go with it. And we make changes. We make steps and changes for ourselves. And that's what we do. And what are we doing today, Carla?
We are interviewing Nicole and Corey from Okoa Beauty. And it is a hair care line. They both have really beautiful, luscious, curly hair. And I'm assuming their Eff It moment's going to be talking about how they decided to say Eff It and build this business. I'm not sure, but I would like to think that's probably what it is. So we're just going to bring them in and hear how these two sisters created a hair care line, which is not an easy thing to do. So we're going to bring them in right now. The Okoa sisters. I know that's not your last name, but we're talking about the brand here. Nicole and Corey created Okoa Beauty. They have, if you're watching the YouTube video, they have luscious, beautiful curly hair. And we're going to jump in and talk about this Eff It moment, which is surrounding this beauty product. So the first question is to either one of you that wants to answer, what shifted your mindset to say Eff It and go pursue this endeavor?
Yeah, well, thank you both so much for having us. We're so excited to be here and share more about our story in Okoa. So for us, like the transformation moment started when Corey became a mother and I moved out of my home. I wasn't a mom yet, but I had this moment of like, I want to live on my own. I want to be independent. And coming from a Latino community, being Dominican, my parents were like, where are you going? You're not getting married. So like, you should be in our house. But I was like, no, I want to be independent. I want to live on my own. And through this journey, I discovered curly hair care. I got a curly haircut. I discovered all the products that were used for curly hair care. And I was like, I want to see my curls come back. My hair was so damaged and fried. And for us, coming from the Dominican Republic, we grew up thinking that our hair was pelo malo. So we grew up in DR up until our early teens, and society telling us like, oh, your hair is bad. You should straighten it every day. You should go to the hair salon. And we never embraced our curly hair growing up. And then moving forward to moving to the US, going through this transformation, I of course had to tell my sister about it. I told Corey, she had just had a baby, and she was so on board. She was super excited to learn more. She's like the curious sister. She's also the older sister. So she does a lot of the like research, and she got really involved, and she actually went to get certified to become a natural hair formulator, and she learned how to formulate. And here we are 5 years later with a hair care brand that we would have never thought we were going to start together.
That is crazy. And talk about being able to take the reins in your own hands and just like learn how to make this stuff on your own. I'm sure that's not a very simple thing to do. How long, like, what does that look like? How long did that take to learn this?
Yeah, I'm Corey, and again, thank you so much, Romy and Carla, for having us. And for us, I mean, it takes a while just to formulate something. But mind you, we were very naive to the whole like process, right? We just want to look for a solution. We wanted to simplify our routine. Moms, I was a new mom, right? So the whole process of I don't have the luxury to go to a hair salon and spend 3 hours the whole morning to get my hair done, because to get straightened, like I would like literally spend the whole Saturday morning there, and my day was gone. So now, mind you, and just to go a little bit back, I had preeclampsia, right? So I had a very traumatic pregnancy towards the end. I actually had to do an emergency C-section when my baby was only 33 weeks. So he was born prematurely. And all of that is like, first, nobody in my family knew what preeclampsia was. I was literally learning the term while having the symptoms. So it was incredible. Nobody in my family like actually experienced that. So it was all new stuff. So my moment wasn't so much like I'm tired of it. It was more like of a sad process. Like I actually never said this before, but it was like really sad, where I was like in a moment in my life where like, what is going on? What's happening to me? I just had a baby. This is supposed to be happiness and joyful and everything. But like, what have I done with my life? I need to move on to something new. And it was like that perfect timing with my sister that she was going through that. And it's like, let's really go back and embrace who we are. Like, let's forget about how people think like you're supposed to be. Let's forget that you need to
Mm-hmm.
spend so much money and time straightening your hair, when at the end of the day, you're beautiful just the way you're born to be. So then that obviously trying products, we're like sisters texting each other, and we every time we would try something new, we would just have feedback of how the results were. And I was just like, wow, like this preeclampsia thing and all the hormonal issues I was having, maybe it was done because of the personal care and the ingredients that I was using in my body, right? So all of that was that brought like that curiosity where I was like, I want to learn, like, what am I putting on my body? And then I started to Google. I enrolled myself in a formulations course that took about 3 or 4 months, and it was online. My professor is actually in California, and she would give us like formulations and places to like buy ingredients, and I would just create like the things that I wanted, like curl cream or shampoo and things like that, and I would give it to
Mm-hmm.
Nicole and say, hey, try this, I just made this in my kitchen. And she was like, okay, and she would try it, and she said, well, this is actually working. So it was a process of just patience and just being curious.
Corey, I just want to say, thank you for sharing that, and the journey of motherhood and things that we go through and what they kind of ignite in us and bring upon us, and the way we reflect and then look at ourselves. We look at our children. We want to encourage our children to love themselves as they are, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
us as women and mothers, we're like, wait, are we even doing that for ourselves? Like, we're
Right.
like preaching this word that we want to give our kids, but like, are we actually living that way?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
brings up so much. So I love that you guys were able to reflect on, just being who you are and having that message of making who you are beautiful. And then you getting online and just learning. Carla and I, when we got into this, we signed up for coaching school. We wanted to figure out what it was like to have conversations and reflect back with people. You get curious when you
Right.
say F it. You get curious and you want to learn something. And for those of us that do create things, right, that are doing things like we're doing, a lot of that takes saying F it and just learning something you've never done,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
as moms, right? So not just like in our like young, youthful, like no responsibility lives, in very busy hormonal places in our life,
Yeah.
we're still saying F it. We can take on a whole new project and a whole new, like it's wild how we do. And that's what I love about this. My question to you guys, whoever wants to answer this, is by saying F it, and clearly opportunities opened up because you guys are very successful, busy, and doing great with the line. What opportunities opened up for you by just going after this?
Yeah, I mean, it was tremendous opportunities. We were both trying to be like taking the safe route, like we thought we were being told to do this sort of thing, but we were not passionate about it, and we didn't know it until we tried it. We didn't know it was going to be hair care. It was going to be something so personal to us. And through our relationship, we're able now to share that with our community of hermanas. That means a lot to us. And like we get these DMs, we get these comments, these messages of women, younger girls, the next generation, telling us like, wow, your products are changing my life. And we would have never heard that if we stayed where we were. We would have never experienced those moments and the joy that we get now, and the fact that we didn't think we could be founders of a beauty brand, and look where we are now, and getting into these rooms where I would have never seen myself. So I think like we get to do it together, and that's the best part. And people always ask like, "Oh my god, how do you guys work together?" And for us, it's like super easy because it's fun. We trust each other and we know each other so well that it's just like been like the dream team for us working together. And like looking back, like we always said like we were going to start a business together, but we never knew what it was. We ended up writing like ideas and we never followed through until this hair care idea and moment happened, because it was our own struggle that we were solving.
Yeah.
We really solved that problem for us first. We were like, these products are making my hair look amazing. Now I want to actually share that with the world. And because it was so personal, now we feel like we're helping other women embrace who they're born to be. And that's really just the best thing that we could have ever done.
Yeah. I mean, to be able to create something, it's interesting how organically these things happen, right? Like it sounds like that was why, it's just organically started to take up speed because it felt good to you guys. It helped you guys. I mean, I'm in that similar journey right now where I'm creating something and it's just organically like starting to evolve and people are responding. And it's just like, it's an incredible feeling to be able to help other people feel good about themselves and all that. So you guys are doing an incredible thing to help other women. Cause like I have clients, I'm a hairdresser. So I have clients that have really curly hair as well. And I've heard like, no one knows how to deal with this. Like this is constantly like, this is my struggle. And I try my best. Now I'm going to offer them this to try that because
please.
because like I do my best to do it and they're happy with it. But if there's something else out there that I could offer them that can really bring out their curls and make them feel happy about themselves, it's really annoying that in this culture, it's like curly hair is considered like messy and unkempt and unprofessional and wild. And it's like, no, it's beautiful. Curly hair can do so many things. And so it's great that you guys created something like this to help other women who have these hair issues. But my next question is, obviously when you say F it and start saying yes to these things and you start learning a lot about yourselves and about each other, were there any positive or negative things that you learned about yourselves or each other during this whole process that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, for us, I would say like the past before Okoa, it feels like our life was kind of like a blur. I mean, I did accounting and hedge fund accounting as a trade. So nothing related to beauty. Nicole worked in marketing, but she worked for a financial institution. So it was like a life that we can go back and like, what happened in those years? Like we can't really like go back and think of how it brought some satisfaction. Like it was like living 9 to 5 and then living on the weekend, technically, kind of deal. And then now we can actually go back since 2018 and we can walk you through every single step that we have done in our lives since 2018 till now. And it has obviously we had challenges, we had issues moving forward. We even had like the first manufacturer that we were going to work with, a week before our production started, they caught on fire. They had an incident and we had to start over again. So it's like all of those little things that you would think, as you're working towards something, you're like, oh, this is maybe not meant to be. This is my sign to just quit now and not go and not keep going. And people in your family, like, you're just wasting money. What are you doing? So all of that show that we're just persistent people. Then when we have something and when you're so passionate about something,
Yes.
nothing is going to stop you. No
Mhm.
fire, no person, nothing is going to really stop you. You're going to go for it and you're going to make it happen. And for
Mhm.
us, it made us feel like, don't doubt yourself. You can do
Yes.
it. And yes, and things are going to happen. There's going to be challenges. But if that mission is meant to you, if that's your path and you're supposed to go that route, the doors will open
Yes.
slowly, but they will. We
Yes.
have been hustling since 2018. It's been long, but here we are now, sitting at tables that we never thought we would sit. Hearing from people in other countries. So it's just an impact that we wouldn't never imagine that we would be able to create. And not only that, hiring our own family, having our families work with us, having a little sister say, I'm going to go to college, I want to learn how to do business so I can help my sisters. All of that just brings joy to our hearts and our mom and our family overall, and bringing also the representation of having Ocoa, our home country, in a
Mhm.
bottle. It just is so it's
Mhm.
filled with pride and hope.
I love that so much. I love the message too, the persistence, because so many of us moms and women who are listening or on here or who've been on here, we wouldn't have the successes we've had if we didn't keep pushing through the fires, right? Because they're going to happen. If you say F it and you do something and you don't get hit with a wall or some obstacle along the way, the reward honestly isn't even that great, right? You
No.
got to earn that shit. You got to work through it and not give up to really be able to appreciate that journey, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Carla always reminds me, with the podcast we listen to, and even with our own podcast and our own branding that we're doing, that you can't stop, you can't give up, right? You can't give up. So we
Yes.
hit walls, we get discouraged and disappointed and question whether we're just wasting our time, right? But
Mhm.
if you believe in it, and we do in our message and you guys do in your message, then there's nothing that's going to stop you from
Absolutely.
wanting to put that out there. It's this is great for the next question too, basically what you guys are talking about, but how did you navigate through the negative self-talk and doubts when this was coming up and people were telling you to stop and fires were happening? How did you push through that? How did you keep persistent?
Yeah, I think what kept us going was each other, to be honest. Like, if we didn't have each other, I don't know that we would have kept going. I think we're like yin and yang, like we keep each other balanced. So it's like on those negative days where like I was like, okay, I just can't do this anymore. I'm done. You're gonna have to continue on and do it by yourself. And she's like, I can't. We can do it. We can do it together. I need you. So we're like each other's cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like I don't know how one of us could have done it without the other. To be honest, it's like we're the puzzle. We have to be together, and that's really the glue that kept us going was each other and knowing that we had each other's back, we had our family supporting us, and we had a mission to keep, helping other women, and that really
Yes.
just kept us going.
Ah, I love that.
Yeah, it's funny. We call each other yin
Yeah,
and
yin
yang
and
too,
yang.
even though we're not
Oh,
sisters.
I
Even
love
though people think we
that.
are, but
Yeah.
that's what we do. I think
Yeah.
like
do.
had it not been for you, Romy, I wouldn't continue. You wouldn't continue.
Mhm.
It's the same sort of thing.
Well, we
Um,
have those weeks, and I know you guys feel that. We're like, you can tell that Carla's carrying a week over me, right? Like, you just know
Yes.
she's carrying us. I'm like, fuck, you take this because I don't have it. And then some weeks I'll carry it, right? Like, I'll fail
Yep.
on this area, and it's like, but we catch each other, right? Like, no one's like putting
Right.
it all on the other person, but like you do. It's a marriage, it's a partnership, it's a sisterhood, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I 100% don't know how people sometimes can get through projects without their person. So we
Right.
completely feel that message.
yeah, what I was
Yeah.
gonna say for women that do things on their own, it's important. So this just goes to show that it's important to have that cheerleader, whether it's a relative
Yeah.
or a friend or a community. Like it's a very lonely path to be a solopreneur if you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
build something. Like you must have someone that's in your corner cheering you on, because I know that for me in the past, like I have Romy, but I also have these other people that have come into my life that if I hadn't come in, I don't think I'd be where I'm at, because they're
Right.
constantly reminding me of what I've achieved. And
Mhm.
when you are someone that like, oh, I don't know if I've done enough, or I'm hard on myself,
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys might be
We are
too, but
too.
like, yeah, it's like when you have other people outside of you being like, no, dude, look what you've done. It's like,
Right.
oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
the reminder. I can keep going. So it's so important for anybody out there who wants to start something on their own. Get into a community with other people, like go on Meetup and join like
Yes.
women entrepreneur groups. Like it's so important to have that community around you. So thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know I mean, you guys talked about how you were both in like the financial kind of world before, but I'm curious to know, how were you guys as individuals before? Like how are you now versus the person that you were before? And obviously this question goes to both of you. Like how could you describe yourself then versus now?
I mean, I at least for me, I feel like I'm happier. I feel like I have a sense of purpose. I feel like I'm working towards something that I never thought that, I would be doing. Again, it's like coming from that mentality where you were immigrants, right? Like you come here and your parents want you to go a certain route. Like they want you to go to college if you can, and then, get a steady job and then get a house and then get married and have like the I would say like a very safe life. and I now I feel like I'm a risk taker. I'm taking risk. I am learning new things. I am speaking to people that at one point maybe I was afraid to speak to. I am just learning. I'm curious, so all of that gives me joy. And again, it's like I love when I see people who are so sure of what they want to do, but that wasn't me. Like I was just so like navigating, what is it that I want to do? Like, am I doing this? Like, should I go this like financial route because it's safe and I know I'm always gonna have a job? And that was kind of like the message that I was receiving. You do that because you're gonna find a job right away. And it did. It worked out. It did for the time it did. But then inside, I didn't feel like I had a purpose, and I didn't feel like it was meaningful. So all of this kind of happened by accident in a way, because we didn't know that we were going to end up doing this. But it was like, again, going back into your path and your mission and what you're supposed to do in life. Things are just going to come to you. And I'm glad that it came this way. And I feel like the next path and the next chapter of my life is going to be something where I'm always going to have a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that, Corey. For me, it was like discovering who I was. Like it was really just like so much self-awareness that it was like I'm on the journey still, but like looking back, I'm like, who was that person? Like I'm like a completely new person, and part of that was also becoming a mom through this journey. I was pregnant twice, building, while we were coming up with formulas, testing, building the brand and rebranding and all the things that we have done. And like becoming a mom was like, I can do anything now.
Yeah.
Like I have new muscles, my
Yes.
brain is bigger. Like I'm just like, no one can stop me now. So like I didn't know that. Like I felt like also like in the Latino community, like you don't feel like moms are like as empowered as they should be. Like at least I didn't think my mom felt that way. And I'm like, you have 4 daughters. Like what? You can do anything. And like and I'm seeing her also kind of like be more confident too. Like now that she sees her daughters, like she's so proud. And like I feel like I'm a more confident person. And that gives me a lot of like pride and joy because I want that for my daughter and my son. So I think it's just like an opportunity to be a better me, that I can be proud to role model that for my kids now. And like they don't have to go to the hair salon and get their hair straightened because they love their curls. There's nothing that they feel like they have to change about themselves. So that's just like a moment of like so much transformation for us that came from this journey of building the company. But I'm like also a better me, which is something that gives me a lot of pride and joy.
Oh,
I love that you said that, just in terms of like the power that comes from becoming a mom, as this is a podcast by moms for moms, right? Because I know that the power of raising my daughter, I look at my daughter now, 8 years old, right? Just had her birthday party. I'm like, fuck, I am so powerful. Like that kid is
Yeah.
alive. She's like thriving. Like I did that, I didn't have, or I don't think I was aware until I was a mom, till I gave birth, kept a baby alive. She's like in
Yeah.
school functioning, like thriving, that like, fuck, I can do some really hard shit. Like,
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want. I can start a podcast. I can write a book. Carly can start a hairline. Like, we can do whatever
Yeah.
we want. You know, like
Yeah.
there is something that happens when you become a mom, and I'm glad that you touched on that, because all of us as moms, when we hear that, like it hits a chord, because it's like, fuck yeah, I remember that feeling. You know,
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
soon as
Absolutely.
you just feel stronger. And what you said about your mom almost not knowing her strength, right? She's got 4 girls. I'm sure that resonates
Mm-hmm.
with you, Carla, and your mom. It's like, you don't realize how powerful you are. Like, why are you not tapping into the power of like who you are? It's so beautiful, right? And I hope more of the next generation and our kids do see that, like, we are like owning this, like
Yes.
this title, this, you know what I mean, this phase of our lives. Like,
Yeah.
it's a powerful phase.
I think I mean, if you're someone of color, and you're, because I'm also Latina, and I grew up from in an immigrant family, I feel like just parents are those people that come from other countries, it's expected to just do this. It's just expected to have a lot of kids. It's expected to do all this work. But it's not until like their kids, they move to the United States and they have their kids, and their kids start like doing all these other things, they realize, oh my God, like it actually is a lot of shit that I do. And I can do so many things at the same time. And I actually am powerful. And it's almost like your mom sees her power through you guys. And like, oh my
Right.
God, like look what I did, and look what I created, and look what they're doing, and look what they're created. Like, wow, that's why your mom has gained the confidence that she has. So it's interesting how like our culture, it's very like play safe, play small, don't rustle feathers, get a
Right.
safe job, because of all the things that they've experienced. Like it's understandable that they want their children to go to the safe path, but then they see their daughters doing something so incredible, and it's like, oh my God, their perspective, your parents' perspective changes.
Yeah.
So it's really just, it's nice that us as kids and our kids moving forward have us that are trying to do these things as these role models, to be able to be like, my mom fucking did it, I can
Yeah.
do it too. And you know what, I could probably do it better. I want my
Yeah.
daughter to be like, I
Exactly.
can do it better than you, mom. And I'm like, good, fucking
Yes.
Yeah.
go. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
So
love this. I love this so much. We are just so grateful for your story. It means a lot. It touches like everything that we believe in with this podcast. So we're just so happy. What would your message of empowerment be to anyone listening, to your children and the people listening to your story?
I mean, I feel like we have so many different messages, so many things that we want to
Yeah.
tell people. Like, um, first, I mean, it all starts with you, right? Like you need to find that person that that makes you first proud and happy. It's like for me, it's like growing up. I didn't see this as beautiful, and now I cannot have it any other way. But that took a, a long time to see that, and then not only just because of me and having issues of me and seeing my image or seeing my curly hair as beautiful, but also because society, right? Society puts all these different mentalities and all these different standards that you're supposed to follow. So it's like it's almost saying no, like I know who I am and I feel comfortable the way I am. So that's the first message. But then at the same time, also do not doubt your power. Your current situation does not determine your future destination. So I just like love that. Maybe right now we're just learning from other people. Maybe right now you're working for someone and you're just kind of like helping them build something. But maybe in the future that's going to be you building something yourself. So never let that current situation make you not see that the light at the end of the tunnel is for you too, right? So it's like it's just enjoy the tunnel before you reach the light. So I
Yes.
think that there's just so many things that are happening. Sometimes the world does creates these situations that make you feel like doubt in yourself, but don't let that doubt take over, and just continue to be you and follow your dreams.
Yeah. And to add to that, I would just say Embrace who you are, embrace who you're born to be, and that's it. Like once you really are sure of yourself, you can really share that with others, with the next generation. If you're a mom, with your kids, with your family, and even with your own mother who maybe didn't get a chance to really embrace who they are, and you can really let them discover that there's opportunities to do that, even if it's never too late. It's never too late to discover who you're born to be. So I would say take a moment to also sort of do that reflection so that you really can be the best you.
I love
You
it.
know, talking to you guys just really emphasizes this idea that I always talk about and that we always talk about. Like if we can get more women like you guys, all the women that we've had on this
Yeah.
podcast in positions of power where we need to
Mhm.
be, we can fucking change the world.
Yes.
Absolutely.
We can do, you guys are living proof. You could do so much hard things while having children, and you get that shit done. You guys are founders of a hair care line, and you have kids, and you have your life. You know, it's just like people need to look at a mom, like those gaps of work on resumes for moms, and be like, oh shit, you're a mom. Okay, you're hired.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a bonus.
It's
Yeah,
a
it needs to
bonus.
be a bonus on the resume. Like that needs to be
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna show this off. Like, mom. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. We
Yes.
respect you. We know you can multitask, you can handle
Yeah.
stress, pressure. You are a boss.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we had a mom on who she's a stay-at-home mom, and
Uh-huh.
she was like, I'm a domestic engineer.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
the
I
title.
love that.
Seriously.
That should be part
I
of our
love that.
title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna go on the resume, domestic engineer. And we were like, yes, honey,
Yes.
100%. She's running like
Yeah.
5 boys, like a husband, her online
Oh my
business. And I'm
God.
like, you are handling it.
I
Like
love that.
Yes.
handling and looking like a queen through the whole thing, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
We are
So-
so grateful for you guys. Thank you with your busy lives. We know you had a busy week and you made time for us. And we hope that this, story and your message, anyone listening is inspired by it. And that's all we ever want with these interviews. But where can everyone follow you? Where can they find you? Where can they shop with you? Where can our curly mamas get their products?
Yeah, you can find us at okoabeauty.com. We are at Okoa Beauty on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, even on Pinterest. So wherever you are, you can find Okoa Beauty. And we're also at some local retailers around our area. So you can find that in our website.
Nice.
Amazing.
All right. Well, this is where we're all going to say just F it. And so since both of you, well, one of you is going to have to go first, but you guys go ahead and start us off. So you just say just F it.
Just F it.
Just F it.
Just F it.
Just F it.